The 2025 Euros are officially here, and it's been a wild ride so far. We've had an upset, we've had a red card, we've had an own goal, and a missed PK. It's been wild, and it's been 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I wasn't sure if we were going to make a video, and I don't know if we're going to make one every day. Probably not. But these 2 games were pretty entertaining. And I thought, wow, you know, the first day of the Euros, both games are so entertaining. So much has already gone on. So I thought maybe we'll make a quick video. You know, I don't know how much I want to edit this or whatnot because I want to get it out as soon as I can. But yeah, it was already a crazy day in hot Switzerland, even though it didn't look as hot as I think as they had anticipated. I think they still was like 90 degrees. I don't know, but it definitely is not normal for that part of Europe. But how's it going, everyone? 2 exciting games. The Euros are here. Sarah and I got to watch both games. I just want to talk about the games a little bit.
Oh, I only saw the ref. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah, the refs are really hot today, too. I don't know what was up with that.
Sarah, can you say that? Is that legal?
But the first game, I will say, was an upset. I don't think most people had Finland beating Iceland. First of all, Group A is kind of the wild card group. I've seen kind of some discourse online saying Group A is the group with not as much talent as the other groups. But be that as it may, they are Group A. And entertaining games. The final score was 1-0, and Finland came out on top. Now, Iceland is the top ranked team in that group. They're ranked number 14th. Finland is ranked number 26th. So it really was an upset. But Finland came out hot. They came out ready. Out the bat, though, it didn't look good for Finland. I think Finland got a yellow card in like the 4th minute. That is never good because we know once you get a yellow card, that's not good. You're kind of on, you don't want to get another one, which happened. We're going to get into that. But it didn't look great for Finland. But they were hot. They were ready. No score going into the first half, but Finland looked more peppy. They looked more like they had a plan. They looked like, and then it kind of all fell apart in the second half for Iceland. Iceland never really did look amazing. Where it all started to really go wrong was in the 52nd minute. Antonsdottir got a yellow. Okay. She kind of was, oh, my bad. I know I got a yellow. Then, like 4 minutes later, she got another yellow. And turned into red, and that was it. They're going to be down 10 players. And some people call it like a questionable red, even though it was red. I don't know. What did you think when you thought, oh my God, 10 down to 10 players?
I was shocked. When I saw the red, I go, what the heck? Yeah. Like, what minute was that at?
Like the 58th.
Okay. I was like, this is wild. Already a red card. And I was like, I'm so confused. Like, why did they get a red card?
Yeah.
But
they showed the replay after. It was kind of strange, but a red card in the very first game of the Euros. I mean, that was a little unexpected. Then it kind of just went from bad to worse for Iceland because in the 70th minute, Kosala, I think that's how you pronounce her name, she scored a beautiful goal in the 70th minute. And that was kind of it. Now, a lot went on, and some people, I saw some critiques saying it wasn't the best soccer, it wasn't the most technical soccer, it wasn't anything like that. But it was, I thought it was entertaining as someone who likes to watch a lot of games. I thought it was entertaining. And shockingly, Iceland went down, and I don't know, we were stunned. I was stunned. I was screaming. And Sarah was like, well, you're screaming a lot. Finland looked hungrier. They looked better organized. They created more chances. They were the more active team. But I thought it was a fun match. Now, some people are saying it wasn't the best soccer, but it was a fun match. Iceland are going to have to come back to get out of that group, but they definitely can. Then the next game, I thought that game was entertaining. Like I said, maybe not the best soccer, but entertaining. Going on to the host country, playing against Norway. We know Norway kind of falls apart during the tournaments these days.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And they have a great history of tournament play in the past, but in the last 4 years, they've kind of fallen apart during tournaments. And they have a lot of big names. You know, they have a lot of big names on their team, a lot of superstars. Caroline Graham-Hansen, Hegerberg, Guro Reiten, Frida Manum, Ingrid Engen. So there was a lot of big names on that team.
But you know, when you're the host country, the fans in the crowd, they're on your side.
Yeah, it's kind of like the 12th player. You know, the crowd is on your side, and they were loud. So yeah, so I think the Swiss team really wanted to win for their fans. Really, you know, first match out, first win. You know, are they gonna advance from their group? I think and I think the fans really felt it. But overall, it was a very exciting match, and it was entertaining. You know what I mean? I love games where they score. I love games where there's VAR checks. I love games where there's own goals. I mean, I like those kind of exciting games. Yeah. But first half was all Swiss. The commentators were like optimistic. They're like, the Swiss, if they're playing this way, Swiss are going to win this. And in the 24th, I mean, it was a matter of time before the Swiss scored. There was a few opportunities in the 24th minute. I think they hit the crossbar. I was screaming. Sarah was looking down, and then she looked up. She goes, "What's happening?"
I was shook.
Yeah. Then just 4 minutes later, they ended up scoring. Reason, I think that's how you pronounce her name, scored a beautiful goal, and that was the first goal. Unfortunately, that was the only Swiss goal. But going in 1-0 to half, Switzerland were feeling pretty good.
Then the Norway team got mad. No, they came out blazing. I wonder what the locker room was like, because
Hegerberg, I love that scowl she does, because she looked mad. She looked like she said, okay, this isn't the team. This is not the performance I want to give today. Because in the 54th minute, Hegerberg scored. Beautiful goal. It was the equalizer. 4 minutes later, though, unfortunately, disaster happened, and it was an own goal from Switzerland. So it was a 1-2 punch for Switzerland. And the wind was out of their sails, the Swiss team. But the Norwegian team kind of looked at that opportunity to say, okay, this is where we're going to win. And then it kind of got crazy from there. Norway ended up with a corner kick. But how they got that corner kick was so interesting. The Swiss goalie kind of flubbed the ball a little bit. So that corner kick should have never happened, if that makes sense. Then corner kick, and then handball Swiss. And you know what that means?
PK.
Yeah.
Then Hegerberg went up and kicked it, but missed it, unfortunately.
And that happens. I feel like big matches for big players. I remember the World Cup, Olympics. For some reason,
we all remember that.
For some reason, when PKs happen at these big tourneys recently, I feel like either the goalie's really good or they just get really nervous. Because remember the last Olympics, a bunch were missed. That's kind of like the theme of PKs recently. Then a minute later, the opposite almost happened. A foul. There was a PK awarded to Switzerland. It was a crazy 5 minutes. Like, all these things were happening. Then they ruled it they didn't rule it not a PK. They ruled it offsides by a toe. So many things were happening. I mean, I'm sure everyone watched it, but it was just an exciting game. Then at the very end, in the 88th minute, Switzerland almost scored. That would have been the equalizer. Then there was a VAR check for Norway. It was just wild. A fun game. And unfortunately, Swiss couldn't get the win or even a draw. And, the fans were disappointed. Switzerland looked disappointed. People think that that's going to be Switzerland's hardest game, but it's hard now. Now that Iceland has lost to Finland, Iceland's really fired up. So now whoever plays Iceland, they're going to be fired up. And now Finland's, it's just kind of a crazy group. I would not have imagined it to be like this, but what did everyone think about those two games? Crazy games. Exciting. That's just day one. That's just Group A. And the big news about Group B will be Belgium versus Italy, and then Spain versus Portugal. And the big news about Spain versus Portugal is we know that BONMATI'S, she was diagnosed with meningitis, viral meningitis, which, as we know, that is the less serious form of meningitis. Because when you hear meningitis, I think a lot of people think about bacterial meningitis, where that's deadly, very deadly. Luckily, it seems like she's close to full fitness, so I've actually heard she could possibly play tomorrow. Now, I don't think she will, but I'll have Sarah read this headline.
Spain coach TOME positive about BONMATI'S fitness after battle with meningitis. Spain coach Monse Tome said AITANA BONMATI'S recovery was progressing positively, but stressed that health remains the priority, as the world champions prepare to face Portugal in their Women's European Championship opener on Thursday. BONMATI, the Ballon d'Or winner for the past 2 years, rejoined the squad on Monday after being discharged from the hospital following a bout of viral meningitis. You saw a bit of the training, I think about 15 minutes, but she was working completely separately and her progress is very positive, TOME told a press conference on Wednesday. As for today's training, she will already be able to do some exercises with the team. She's so eager. We have to hold her back a bit. But according to the medical staff, her progress is positive. Health comes first, and she's been able to complete all the tasks required.
So that was a bit about her progress, how she's doing. She's back on the mend. And then, I see this headline right here. I don't know if this is true, but I did read this.
BONMATI has chance to face Portugal despite recent meningitis.
So some reports are saying, hey, she could be out there on the field tomorrow. Sounds like she really wants to play, but I wouldn't think a game like Portugal, you would need to come back. I'm sure this rest of the Spanish team, they won't need her. The good thing about the way this goes, the tournament's going to be a whole month. So if she just came back for the semifinals or the finals, that would be good. But I don't know. Because you know what this reminded me? Remember when Viv came back from COVID at the other Euros? And she looked not good after the match. She played like 120 minutes because I went to extra time. Yeah. She really pushed herself to the limit. And from interviews she did later on, do you remember the thing where even kind of Beth spoke out that the coach almost like pushed her to play, or he allowed her to play? I don't know the difference, either pushed her or allowed her to play when she probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it probably set her back in her recovery from COVID. So same thing with BONMATI. I'm sure she doesn't want to push it because against Portugal, I don't think you would need to. They're going to get out of their group. Now, I'm sure they want to get out of their group in the first place, but it's not worth her health, But hopefully she's feeling better and everything sounds good. What does everyone think? Questions, comments down below. Like I said, I don't know how much I'm going to edit this. I might just throw some graphics up and not really worry about the graphics because I want this to come out ASAP. But exciting day. These games were exciting. We'll see what happens tomorrow with Belgium and Italy. That should be an exciting match. And then Spain versus Portugal. Yeah, very exciting. I've said exciting 4 times in the last 10 seconds.
It's because it's exciting.
Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.
Bye.